Coaches. Blow the whistle, ay. Blow the whistle, ay. Blow the whistle, they can't hold a flame against you, ay. Blow the whistle, blow the whistle, ay. Blow the whistle, got the game, it ain't no issue, yeah. Blowing the whistle, I had enough with you, the championship, it is gone. Ain't listen to you, I can't give it to you, cause you don't know what I've been on. This is the Coaches Podcast.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the Fantasy Coaches. I am your host, as always, Coach Steve. We got the whole crew back together today, guys. I apologize about my voice. I'm a little sick, a little stuffed up right now, but the boys are back. So let me introduce the crew. As always, Coach Jibs, what is going on, brother? I see you're in some space now, man.
Yeah, man, this NFL free agency got me out here, man. Like, there's going to be astronomical stuff going down in a couple days. And I know we got a bunch of O-line signings and minor stuff going on today, but as the days unfold, man, I'm just going to be in the Astros.
Love to hear that. And Coach John is back. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Just, I got in a heated pickleball match with my little cousins over the weekend. So my legs are a little sore. Shout out Kyle and Wes. Beat me up pretty good. So my hamstrings are just recovering. But other than that, I'm feeling good. Ready for a mock draft. I'm sad I'm not in space or in some cool office. I'm in my crazy
We're
closet.
gonna have to get you something, man.
I know. I gotta work on that. But today's a mock draft. Mock drafts are like one of my favorite things to do. So this will be fun.
Yes, definitely going to be a fun episode. Like John just said, we are doing a startup mock draft today, guys. Before we get to that, though, we're going to go through some of the news. Obviously, there's a lot of things dropping today with free agency kind of opening up today. So we're going to go through that first, and then we'll get into our mock draft. Kyle, what's going on? How are you, buddy?
See you soon.
We'll get through the news first, and then we're going to start our mock draft in the next 10 to 12 minutes here, and we'll go through that. So let's start with the news. Obviously, some old things. I don't want to get too much because there's other things I want to talk about. But obviously, Saquon and Lamar Jackson both got tagged. We missed that last week. Obviously, it was after the fact. Daniel Jones signed a 4-year, $150 million contract. I think I mentioned that when I was on our Thursday episode a little bit there. But he did sign a big contract. Chase Edmonds, Adam Thielen, Braxton Berrios all got released this past week for some cap casualty stuff. Tua, 5th-year option, got picked up by Miami. Loving that. And, of course, Sterling Shepard re-signed with the New York Giants. So there's some things that happened kind of last week that you guys should know about. But we will talk about some more stuff going forward. So let's start with some of the free agency stuff. So Jonnu Smith, a beloved tight end of the New England Patriots, traded to the Atlanta Falcons for a 7th-round pick. Do you guys feel there's any impact on a guy like Kyle Pitts? Obviously, having Jonnu Smith back with Arthur Smith, is there some kind of love making them come back to?
I don't think so. But that narrative could be out there if you want to believe it. But I think no. If anything, it might help Kyle Pitts more because they will use Jonnu Smith to block and let Kyle Pitts run more as a wide receiver. So I don't know. It just more stinks that Patriots paid him big money just to trade him away for nothing. But I'm glad they got something. The 7th is all right.
Yeah.
I agree with the same sentiment. Hopefully he's there to block and not catch the balls. Otherwise, you're going to have a mess. Like, we couldn't stand these two tight ends together in the New England system, and I'm sure as hell not going to stand it with Kyle Pitts, who basically didn't give us an optimal season last year, and now he's getting a teammate in the backfield.
And I definitely respect that. Like I said, he hasn't done anything in the last 2 seasons. I don't really see him really jumping over. He's not going to jump Kyle Pitts. A good time to buy low on Kyle Pitts. If someone wants to think that this is a major impact to Kyle Pitts' value, definitely a good time to buy. He's just the guy I think that's familiar with the offense that Arthur Smith wanted on his team, obviously. So I think that's what it is. It's familiarity with the scheme, and that's all you're really on that note. Jarrett Stidham signed a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Denver Broncos to be their backup. Again, there's really not much there unless something happens to Russ. He's a good guy to have if you have a Russell Wilson owner, basically. I think that's the best way to describe Jarrett Stidham is that if you have Russell Wilson, you might want to back him up with Jarrett Stidham on your dynasty team. Obviously, this is probably one of the biggest news of the weekend, or the day, actually. Jimmy Garoppolo signs a 3-year, $67.5 million deal with the Las Vegas Raiders with like 34 guaranteed all together. obviously this is probably the biggest quarterback news, probably biggest free agent news in terms of the offensive side of the ball for fantasy. What do you guys think about Jimmy G with the Raiders now? Do you like him as a quarterback, and does this affect the other players around him?
I mean, it's crazy. I guess seeing the money that was going around to players like Derek Carr and Daniel Jones, I guess, Vegas made off well, only having to pay $67 million for Jimmy G, in my opinion. So I think contract wise, it's good. He's fine. He's just Derek Carr. So I would keep the same sort of positional value that you had those other pieces. Your Devontae Adams is probably still a top 10 guy. Hopefully you get more out of Darren Waller. You see what happens with Josh Jacobs, but he can run an offense just as well as Derek Carr. So I love it for Vegas.
Yeah, I'm not going to change these guys' values drastically at all. Like, I don't see like a drastic upgrade from Derek Carr. Maybe you'll have availability concerns with Jimmy G, but otherwise, like, hey, it's good that they got a quarterback. I'm glad they have someone competent there, at least.
Yeah, it was getting pretty bad as a Raiders, not me as a Raiders fan, but just in general, Raiders fans, that they weren't going to have a quarterback this season. So I was like, all right, Jared Sims probably going to play QB this year, and they'll work it out next year. And then he signed with the Broncos. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, it's got to be Jimmy G. They have to make a move for Jimmy G. He obviously fits that. He knows the scheme Josh McDaniels wants to run there, but it's concerning. Derek Carr was somebody who lasted a long time. He played all 17 games most seasons. Jimmy G has had just 2 full seasons in his career. No season over 4,000 yards, just 1 season over 25 passing touchdowns. So it's a bit concerning. I personally don't value him, and I value him just a step tier lower. If he's healthy, maybe then he gets a mid-range QB2, high-end QB2 if he's healthy all season. It's a lot to ask for, though. I think you guys kind of summed it up in terms of the skill players. I don't really see too much of a change. It will be different how they use Devontae Adams because he was such a, air yards, downfield kind of thrower, and Jimmy G's not that type of guy. Derek Carr was. So they might have to use Devontae Adams more strategically, maybe more receptions, even though he already has 1 billion receptions. Yeah, I think Waller kind of stays the same. I like Waller still. I think Hunter Renfrow kind of jumps back in the conversation because of how Jimmy G throws the ball shorter. And Josh Jacobs to the moon because they have to run the ball. They're not going to be throwing times a game with Jimmy G. I just don't see it. It's going to be Josh Jacobs all day. So, Mike White signed a 2-year, $16 million deal with my Dolphins. He could be interesting in Fan Dynasty if you want to grab him on the low because we know how Tua's situation is. We don't know how that's going to progress over an entire season. He didn't do that great, but he threw a lot and threw a lot of yards, so that could be intriguing if you're looking for backups or depth pieces. Case Keenum signed a 2-year deal with the Houston Texans. He might get a couple starts until they bring out their first-round pick. He might not. We'll have to wait to see. He's a good just veteran player to have back there. Mike Boone signed with Houston, too. I'm not going to even toy with that situation. So Josh Oliver signed a 3-year, $21 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings. That was kind of interesting. He's probably a free agent in most of your leagues, probably worth an ad just because TJ Hawkinson has had injuries in his early part of his career, and maybe he gets used. There was one game that he was used with the Ravens last year that he was 4 for 87 and a touchdown. Intriguing.
Against the Bills.
Huh?
Oh, no, against the Jaguars, sorry.
Against the Jaguars, yeah. So, and he's like he was like rated rated the top inline tight end last year when he played. So there was reasons why, but 21 seems like a lot. And then Sam Darnold. I think we kind of already slightly discussed this, that maybe Sam Darnold starts at some point this year. Likely not, but definitely interesting that they brought in another quarterback. They obviously need healthy bodies all over the field, and quarterback obviously was a major need for them. But there's not too many crazy sightings. There's a lot of quarterbacks that you all kind of just see that here, but mostly just quarterbacks. But before we get to our mock draft, we got 5 minutes. I want to get into the biggest trade over the weekend that we did obviously not have a chance to cover, and it's the Carolina Panthers trade up for the number 1 overall pick. They trade away the 109, a 2024 first, a 2025 second, and of course, DJ Moore is now heading to Chicago. I'll let both of you guys go through this. How do you guys feel about this trade? Do you like DJ Moore on the Panthers and not the Panthers, on Chicago in that situation now? And does anyone get affected by this trade? Do you like anyone on Carolina now? Give us your takes on this.
Ooh, well, I mean, Carolina offensively is going to look, who knows? They're going to look totally different. So I don't think you can really say like, oh, go grab Terrence Marshall, go trade for this guy. Like, I don't know. Like, I think their offense is going to look totally different. So we'll see how that looks. But in terms of DJ Moore on the Bears, love it. Like, I think that's going to be a great fit. They need a, possession wide receiver kind of alpha guy, and then have those ancillary pieces that Justin Fields can throw to. So I think DJ Moore is going to get peppered with targets. I think he's going to have as much as he needs. And it was a good move by Chicago. They didn't need the number 1 overall pick. They, slide down to 9, get a 2024 first. And that's probably that could potentially be another top 10 first again, because unless Carolina turns it around real quick. So yeah, this is a great trade for Chicago. I think it was smart. And now Carolina's probably going to go after a quarterback and try again, build again.
How many spots they move up? Like, how many? 7?
So 8, yeah, 109 to
101.
I think the Panthers got fleeced. Definitely. It's good that they're going to get the quarterback of the future, but they better make sure they do their due diligence and get it right if they're giving up all this capital. DJ Moore on the Bears doesn't really move the needle for me. I think he's still stuck in no man's land. They still have 2 other decent receivers out there. I think he could have. I'm not going to put a slight to his name, but like a 900-yard seasons or 800-yard seasons could be optimal, because like I don't think Justin Fields is going to be throwing it for 4,500 yards, and all these guys are going to be near 1,000-yard receivers. But he's still going to be a viable option, and it just sucks to Carolina. I don't know what they're doing or what they're thinking, because like you see how these wide receivers contracts are bloating up in the NFL, and DJ Moore was on a respectable, friendly contract. So like to give that up in the deal, it kind of makes you wonder. But like maybe DJ Moore wanted to get out of there. We did see some clips of him just looking exhausted being there at the end of last season. So good for the Bears. Start that franchise over, get it right. It's pretty good to do that now because Aaron Rodgers is semi-gone. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings may not be everlasting relationship. So they're poised to take the NFC North in a couple of years, and I like what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they're spending big right now in free agency. I love it. Like I said, Panthers, like you guys kind of summed it up. I mean, probably the most impactful player isn't on the team currently right now in terms of fantasy. Maybe Terrence Marshall steps up, maybe not. But I think the best fantasy player on the Carolina Panthers is yet to be on their team yet. And we'll find out over the next couple months here now. Other side of the ball, our friend Kyle said it best. This trade obviously impacts Justin Fields more than it does DJ Moore. I think it's just kind of a straight line. He's going to be the same. I don't expect him to see a massive jump like some of these other guys had, like Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown over the last few seasons now. I don't think he's going to make a massive jump with Justin Fields. Justin Fields improved at times with his passing, but I don't think it's something that's going to just take Justin Fields to this extraordinary level. He's still a mobile rushing quarterback here. It's definitely going to help and benefit Justin Fields a lot, but DJ Moore is going to stay the same. I think Darnell Mooney is a good buy low now because he doesn't have to have that number 1 corner on him constantly anymore now. Chase Claypool, who the hell knows what he's doing over there? I mean, he's been not great over the last few seasons here now. I don't know if he takes a step forward. I mean, they're all going to take step backs with the target shares because Justin Fields isn't throwing for 400 plus attempts this coming season here consistently, and they're all not going to be able to see 60 plus targets in this season here. So someone is going to probably fall short. Still like Cole Kmet enough that he's going to be fine in this offense here, but definitely a fleece kind of trade, that's for sure. And I'm hoping DJ Moore takes a different step. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. All right. So like I said, 5:45. We did it in just time, 15 minutes, and you guys nailed it, guys. I loved it. All right, guys. So we're going to start doing our mock draft here show now. It's 15 rounds, startup mock draft, 2 quarterbacks, 3 wide receivers, just 1 flex, tight end, 2 running backs, blah, blah. And then the rest will be bench spots here. We already have our order. I'll bring up that right now. If I can just share my screen here. All right. So my screen is shared here now, I think. Yes, it is. So basically what we're going to do this, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to try to do a strategy of mine. I'm going to try to do a 0 RB strategy early on. If you guys have a strategy you guys want to go through, say it out loud. But if not, I'm going to attempt this for an article that I'm writing, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's start this bad boy and go.
Should I do the best player available strategy?
If you want to, yeah, why not?
It's
Is
usually-
Dynasty out?
yeah. We're
You
doing
best player.
Dynasty
Startup?
Superflex, Dynasty Superflex startup.
Yes,
Okay.
Superflex Dynasty Startup.
Ooh, Jalen
Justin
Hurts.
Fields.
101.
I mean, Jalen Hurts, number 1. I love it.
All right. I mean, can't hate it.
So, John, you're coming up. Where are you thinking right now, John?
Oh, it depends if there's a. It depends if they let Patrick Mahomes fall to me. Then it's probably going to be Patrick Mahomes as almost like an auto pick in this format. Otherwise, I have some decisions to make. I don't feel comfortable taking Joe Burrow this high.
Ooh,
So then my eyes start to wander over to Justin Jefferson. So we'll see what happens here. It looks like this person might time out, and they're going to get Mahomes, which would really stink for my, kind of
there's a good chance
process.
they time out. So, we'll see.
So there's a good chance that I probably will go Justin Jefferson because I don't know if I want to take Joe Burrow at 4. It feels a little high for someone like Burrow who's very propped up on touchdowns and, something. I think they're going to, Cincinnati's great. The offense is awesome. But if he doesn't have a 45 touchdown season, his fantasy outlook could be rough.
Of course.
And they gave him Justin Jefferson. I will take Patrick
Gift.
Mahomes. Never mind. I'll take Patrick Mahomes.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase off the board. Jibs, where are you looking at here with this pick here, man? This is a tough situation in the middle rounds of the draft.
That's always a tough situation, but I'm gonna go with the next player who's probably gonna get the bag, and that is Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it's a smart move. It's a very smart move. Why do you like Herbert?
Well, you can see like there's Lamar Jackson, you have Justin Fields below him as well, and Trevor Lawrence. But I just like the quality of weapons, and he's done it the last 3 years. He's thrown at least like 4,500 yards each season. So like the passing numbers are there. Can't say much about him. And he may be losing Austin Eckler, so he's gonna have to show it more.
That's true.
Stealing
Make that pick, sir. Make that pick.
Oh, I'm sorry. You could do it for me, right?
I can't. No, I'm not. Oh, I guess I could. Hold on. There you
my
go.
screen's broken.
My bad. I'll make the pick for you. I don't mind it. All right. So after Herbert, obviously Justin Fields off the board.
Sorry.
Got Harvin is on the clock right now. I hope he doesn't take my guy. We'll see here. Actually, there's 2 guys. I'm surprised Lamar Jackson sitting there. I guess.
Yeah, Lamar's. I think the contract is really the hang up on Lamar. If he was signed already, it would be a different conversation.
Of course, he took Trevor Lawrence. I definitely wanted Trevor Lawrence. Oh man, this is rough here. I'm going to continue to stick to my strategy. I'm definitely going to do that. Again, we're not playing with the 2023 rookie classes in here because I like to do my startups obviously without rookies because it's more fun to have 2 drafts. So we're not doing the 2023 rookies in this one here. We'll maybe do another startup at some point with them in it, but this one is strictly without them. Again, definitely a tough situation not having Trevor Lawrence here now because I really wanted him. But I'm going to stick to my quarterback guru here, and I'm going to stick with Lamar Jackson, the 110. To me, it just makes a lot of sense. I know the contract situation. It hurts a lot. Of course, Brad is the Jags fan, would take Trevor Lawrence, of course. So good for Brad. But he's still going to be good. He still has a rushing upside. I'm hoping they can get him another wide receiver or some kind of pass catcher, somebody in this field, in this offense here for him, obviously. And the run game should be better. I mean, J.K. Dobbins hopefully is healthy now for 2 seasons. So he should definitely be a lot better on offense in general. So I do like him. It's not my favorite pick, but it is what it is. So
I mean, if his contract was solid, I think you would feel so happy with Lamar Jackson there. You know what I'm saying? It's the only thing that is like wavering that is the contract negotiations. Once he signs, that you're looking beautiful. Like totally beautiful, especially at the 110 or wherever you got him. I think that's a good space.
100%. All right. So here we go. After Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and A.J. Brown off the board here. Wow, Kyler Murray at the 112. That was a bit surprising. I did a startup, and he was at like the middle of the 3rd round. It was wild. All right. This is a tough one for me because I want to go bias and take Jalen Waddle. Or do I want to take CeeDee Lamb? I'm going to have to take CeeDee Lamb here just because he is the number 1 wide receiver in Dallas. He's going to see a ton of targets, over 130 plus, probably over the next 3 or 4 seasons at least. And it's obviously a trustworthy quarterback in Dak in terms of being on the field. That's a major thing for me is having my quarterback on the field. But CeeDee is probably my best pick here to take at this point. So. All right, after that, Breece Hall, Christian McCaffrey off the boards. Jibs, what are you thinking here with your second round pick?
I'm gonna go with your man's Jalen Waddle. Phenomenal receiver. Yeah, actually, no. Hold up.
No?
No.
Oh, changing your mind here. Okay.
Nah, yeah.
Oh, you took Jalen Waddle. All right.
Oh,
Jalen Waddle.
I was
So you
hoping
just look at the receivers there. Like, I'm just more impressed with him. Like, I watch the Dolphins games like on a weekly basis almost.
That's
So
true,
like,
you do,
I
yeah.
see what he saw. If he gets his hands together and he doesn't drop the ball, I think he could have a even improved season. And like, I could take like Garrett Wilson there, another player I'm like high on, but like I know like his production could be varying in like a 2-year window because I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is playing 2 years or he's playing 1. So.
Well, if he's even going there still, we haven't got official word yet. So
It's freaking.
it's pretty there, but yeah. So I'm on St. Brown, Dak off the clock here. John, what are you thinking here in your second round pick?
So I was really hoping when I saw that little run of running backs and wide receivers go, I was hoping I was going to get Dak Prescott. It didn't happen, but I'm going to make a pretty big move here because it is a mock draft, and I'm going to take Ken Walker. I think Ken Walker is someone who didn't end the season great, but, re-signing Geno, you're going to have DK and Lockett back. You can expect, I think, running back 1 numbers from Ken Walker pretty easily. So I'm happy taking him here in the back of the second. Going forward, you got the youth. You got kind of everything going for him. Penny could be completely gone, and it's his backfield to go. People are taking Breece Hall ahead of him, but he's healthy and Breece isn't. So I don't know. I'll take the healthy guy.
I respect it, and Breece Hall's already off the board, so it makes it even easier for you.
Right.
Obviously, after Kenneth Walker went, Austin Eckler, who supposedly wants to get traded, and we didn't mention that in the show because it's just a rumor, but he wants to get traded. Tua Tagovailoa, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams to start round 3, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and now, John, back to you, my friend. Where are we going here?
This is such a sucker's bet, and I think I'm going to do it again. But I'm going to take – no, I'm not doing it. Never mind. I'm going to go with well, I'm going to take Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson, proved enough to me that he is a wide receiver 1, proved enough to me that I think given the quarterback situation, it can only get better in New York. I think that they're going to want to fix that quickly because their window they're realizing, is now. They got good pieces. They have a decent defense. It's like all you're missing is a quarterback, and you can be in the playoffs. So let's go, Kyle. So I'll take Garrett Wilson. Again, this is a little bet on youth, but if I'm kind of looking at it through a dynasty lens, I'll take Garrett Wilson.
All right. I like it. I don't hate it. So after that, Travis Kelce, T. Higgins off the board. Jizz, we're up to you, my friend. Where are we going?
John's a bad man, dog. So mad at him.
Sorry, homie.
I'm gonna go with John's boy, Chris Olave, who was leading like the league with the air yards for like much of the season last year. I know he had quarterback woes and his health wasn't that much great spirits last year, but it's a new year. He has a new quarterback. I'm just gonna be very ecstatic to see what he can do with Derek Carr, and hopefully he's the main dog in the offense. And there's no Thomas, and obviously Kamara's woes.
Yeah, no. I think that's a great pick there. He's young. He's ready to go. He's going to take another step, hopefully, in this offense here. I love it. After that, it looks like Kyle Pitts and Saquon Barkley is off the board here. And now I'm on the clock here. And again, I could go Travis Etienne, Josh Jacobs if I really wanted to. I mean, there's DeAndre Swift, Najee Harris.
DeAndre Swift.
I'm going to go with the stack here. And I'm going to hope that Lamar Jackson finds a way to stay in Baltimore because no one wants to pay Lamar Jackson $200 million guaranteed, and he's just going to hang out with his good old buddy Mark Andrews here. That's why I'm going here.
I like that.
I love to have that tight end that's a game changer for my team where I don't have to worry about the position. And even with it, Lamar Jackson is not there. He's still going to be their probably number one target on this offense here. They feed him a lot constantly, over 100 targets over the last few seasons here now. And he's definitely somebody I need to have on my team. So I like the direction I went there. After that, we have Travis Etienne, Josh Jacobs off the board. We only got three teams without a quarterback so far, so that's interesting. Let's see, Devonta Smith.
Computers. So are they computers? Oh, yeah.
Computers looks like. Oh, and the one auto pick guy. Trey Lance and Devonta Smith off the board here now. So I'm back on the clock here once again. And where's my board? Two already went.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, it's rough right now. I'm going to continue to hit my strategy here. And I'm going to go with DK Metcalf. I like what I saw at DK Metcalf last year with Geno Smith at quarterback. It was something that just kind of worked in this offense here. Tyler Lockett is continuing to get older in this offense. He's going to be 31, I believe, heading into the 23 season here. DK's getting into his prime. I think at 25 he is now. And just continue to see DK Metcalf grow as a wide receiver, and he's going to continue to do so. And I think being with Geno Smith, obviously they have some sort of connection that we thought was going to be completely lost without Russell Wilson. And I'm happy with this. This is a good, solid team. I mean, there might be as much upside that I really want, but I think this is a group of my guys that are just a solid crew. Following that, we have Najee Harris and DeAndre Swift off the board. Jibs, who you got here?
Oh, let me look. Got interesting bunch of people here.
So many people. The round 4 is a great round.
It really is. Ooh, I'm going to hate myself. I'm going to go with...
The clock's running out, man.
That's fine. Take it away. Sorry.
I'm just letting you know. Don't get auto pick on the live show.
That'll be great.
I've done that. That's the worst.
Okay. Oh, Drake London. All right.
Super young.
London real quick.
God damn it.
God
damn it, Jim.
I know he started off the season hot last year, and then he kind of sizzled out with the Falcons run heavy approach. But then we did see him kind of pop off at the end of the year, albeit with a backup and bad quarterback. So I'm expecting the Falcons to make a move in the draft, hopefully, to get their QB of the future. And if not, Desmond Ridder showed some promise to throw to Drake London. Then Marcus Mariota wasn't doing it. So that's all I got for you. Young receiver. I'm going young, baby.
I respect it. All right. And after that, Javonte Williams and Nick Chubb off the board. All right, John, what do we got here?
I'm so mad. I wanted Drake London so badly. All right. Well, now I'm on absolute tilt. I don't like any of these guys. I'm going to... Shit. All right. I don't like any of these guys, so I'm going to go with...
Our boy.
Ramondre. Why did I... Whoa. Oh, I ran out of time. That's fine. Ramondre's fine. I was going to... It was funny. I was going to go with Joe Mixon for upside, but I actually like Ramondre better in a dynasty format. So... yeah, I like Ramondre. I didn't love any of the wide receivers, didn't really love the quarterbacks, and I just kind of need a running back now. I don't have to worry about it for a long time.
No, I like it. I think Ramondre is a good pick there for sure. Tony Pollard off the board, Deebo Samuels. There's still two teams now without a quarterback. I feel like the quarterbacks are just, Daniel Jones. I really thought he'd fall down. I don't like Daniel Jones, but I figured it's a QB2. Why not? But yeah, when you get past the first round on quarterbacks, it's just like, I don't really want any of the other quarterbacks.
No, exactly. You don't
know how you guys feel about
pull
it.
the trigger yet. It's such a game of chicken in dynasty startups on taking your quarterback too. Because there's again, you can list like 13 or 14 guys who are probably in that very startable strong, and then it just drops off to I don't know, do I really want Russ Wilson? Do I really want Kirk Cousins? I don't know. It's just, it sucks.
Yeah. This is rough.
Mac Jones, it's again, how early do I want to take that guy? It's So it sucks. That's the crappy part of Superflex right now. Like if you're in any Superflex startup, is trying to figure out when you take that quarterback too.
Yeah. You always want to grab at least one and then figure it out from there. But see, Daniel Jones, Derrick Henry's off the board. John, what are you thinking about your next pick here now, man? Where are you looking? I know it's a little early. Don't want to give your stuff away. But...
Yeah, no, it's fine. Well, it's not early anymore. I was looking at again, you look at quarterback always in Superflex, it's still to me kind of that like dead zone. I don't really want any of these guys. So George Kittle can show that he, can still have it in the bag when he's featured on the offense. And we talk about how advanced like it is having a good tight end like that. So I kind of want to take George Kittle. That's what I'm doing.
I like it. It's a good pick there. Obviously, Hawkinson and Michael Pittman went before that. George Kittle, Joe Mixon off the board here. Christian Watson. And now, Jibs, you're up, man, in the middle of the fifth round. What are we looking for?
A running back. Oh, wow. And this group of guys is not really good. We have problems and concerns. But I'm gonna go with the familiar. What's the is there a PPR half? We're doing half probably.
It's I believe half point PPR.
It says 2 QBs.
I will double check, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't because the way Sleeper does it doesn't give you option to do what you want. It's just like Dynasty 2 QB league, so it doesn't. Okay. I always say standard is half point PPR, but I mean, that's the one thing I don't like about Sleeper's mock is that they don't allow you to do exactly everything you want, especially in like a random mock you make up. Time's up, Jibs.
Oh, sorry.
Damian Pierce.
Not bad pick. Nah, I'll take Damian.
Not bad pick.
Damian, are you comfortable with Damian Pierce as your RB1?
Yeah. Just give me 10.5 points.
10.5 points.
Whether that's like 60 yards and like 3 catches or whatever. But like I was torn between him and like another player down the road who probably was going to get picked. But like for me, like I have 3 receivers already. I just want a guy who could just get me a specific point value. And Damian Pierce, I know he's a volume back. I see him get 20 carries a game. They should have an improved offense. So maybe he could get some more scoring opportunities.
I respect it. All right. Oh, after that, Jerry Jeudy and George Pickens off the clock here. And I'm going to go Jameson Williams here. I like what Jameson Williams didn't obviously do too much last year. It's definitely a slight concerning, but I am expecting him to kind of come back and have a really much, much better second year. A very explosive young wide receiver here in an offense that seems to be growing and looking better and better over the last few years here. Now, I know it's Jared Goff, and that can be kind of scary for people, but Jared Goff did well enough last year that you can trust him to be able to throw to this guy, and he doesn't have to throw far. Just a little dump-off pass, and Jameson Williams' speed could take it to the house. That's how dangerous he can be with the ball in his hands here. So it'll be interesting to see. And we had Treylon Burks go, and now we're almost at the end of round 5 here. We had DJ Moore off the board here, end of round 5. Interesting. I like it. It's a good pick. J.K. Dobbins, Chris Godwin off the board here, and I am back up in the middle of the beginning of round 6 almost here. Definitely concerning which direction to go here now. I don't know if I'm ready to take my first RB yet. I kind of want to take my first quarterback. I think I might have to go wide receiver once again. Oh, God. This is tough. This is very tough. You know what? Man. Give me Christian Kirk. I like Christian Kirk a lot. I think having Calvin Ridley there is going to help his overall production. He's not going to be the focal point of the offense with Calvin Ridley back on the field, taking the top off the defenses. He's the guy who's just continuing to speed in that slot role, and he showed last year he was worth that money at the time. And I think he's just my team is being very reliable for the most part, besides Jameson Williams, and I like that. I want a reliable team that will put up decent points every single week and will have those big weeks at times. And then you have Jameson Williams who can just kind of take the top off my team for me, hopefully. And then Christian Kirk, Metcalf, and Lamb are just going to be solid weekly 10-point contributors. So All right. So after Christian Kirk, Dallas Goedert, Dalvin Cook off the board. There you go,
Yeah,
Jim.
really wanted the Dalvin Cook there too. Scumbag auto pick. Um, I'm gonna go with another young receiver, Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk. Okay, I like it.
Uh,
Why Brandon Ayuk?
Because I can see two things hypothetically happen for him. Like I can see him get a payday and being out of San Francisco and being a prominent receiver that he thinks he could be. So I could see his role increasing in the future. I'm all right having him be a subpar piece of my offensive or my roster this year. But we did see him have a stellar 2022 comparatively without Debo being in there that much.
I respect it. I like it. I think it's a good pick there. He definitely produced at times. We don't know if Debo can be a guy who can stay healthy for 16 games consistently, especially the way he's using that offense. After that, Kenny Pickett, Aaron Jones off the board here. John, where we going? You only got 19 seconds left, man.
Easy. Terry McLaurin. I'm going to take Terry McLaurin. I think the addition of Eric Bieniemy is going to be good for this offense, and Terry McLaurin could be a benefactor of that. That offense could be exciting next year, so I'll take a piece of that.
Yeah, no, I was torn between him and Christian Kirk. I just was like, do I trust Sam Howell enough to get him the ball consistently? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do love Sam Howell, but yeah. So after that, Hollywood Brown and Cam Akers off the board. DeAndre Hopkins finishes round 6. We're into round 7 here, just about halfway through. And let's see, there's two teams still without a quarterback. No, one team.
Without a quarterback at all?
The auto draft team is without a quarterback at this point still. So it's going to be interesting which way they go. It's going to be very interesting. Is there anyone John's about to be back up here, but Isaiah Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco, good pick.
That's a good pick there. Oh, you want Isaiah Pacheco, Jibs?
That's why I was risking the biscuit for.
It is a little risky. The 7th round pick. Very few in between have been RB1s in fantasy. So you're hoping for a nice RB2 performance. After that, Mike Williams, Kirk Cousins, sorry. And now, John, we're back on the board. Where are we looking?
I'm going wide receiver. I was hoping this guy would fall back to me. I figured he would. It's Amari Cooper. I think he is perpetually gets disrespected because he doesn't have that sort of, top 5, even top 6 upside in my mind. But he will never fall outside of the top 18. Like he's in that. He's the most solid wide receiver 2 you could possibly imagine. And it's like at this point in the draft, I can lock that up. And then I have Garrett Wilson and Terry McLaurin to be the big play, big splash guys for me. I'm happy. So I love getting Amari Cooper there.
Yeah, I think he's just a solid veteran presence, and he's going to be in for another good season. I mean, I can't see anyone else really taking his targets away from him. So, I mean, he should be good. I'm only concerned is that he didn't play that well with Watson, but hopefully Watson can kind of get back on track. Hopefully he can get back on track here, so we'll see. After that, Mike Evans, Russell Wilson. Jibs, you took Derek Carr. Why?
Well, I could just foresee some of the quarterbacks is falling off eventually, but for Derek Carr, I know he'll be there for the next couple of years. I have Olave. You can stack that up while you're at it, and I think he could be a good QB too. And obviously, you always want a third one on your roster too. So,
That is very true. I don't know which direction I want to go here now. Man, I am gonna go and I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit and take Aaron Rodgers here in the 7th round. And I'm hoping he goes to New York. He ends up performing very well. I'm hoping he's got a young crew around him, a good offense around him, a run game that can sustain him, obviously. As my QB2, I can't complain. I know it hurts to take an older quarterback like that, but he should be. I thought about taking Alvin Kamara too. But Aaron Rodgers, I'm hoping that he doesn't go and get hurt and retire and gives me at least 2 more seasons until I can figure out another quarterback situation here. And yeah, that's why direction I went there. And then we have Alvin Kamara, like I said, off the board. Rashard Bateman off the board here now in end of round 7 and beginning of round 8 now. Let's see what direction they go. I'm torn if I should start taking my first RB at this point now, or if I should go back to wide receiver, or maybe take a third QB. That seems a little risky taking the third QB this early, but all right. So Dave Montgomery, Pat Fryermuth off the board here now, and I am going to take my first RB off the board here now, and I'm going to go with. Damn, this is tough. I'm going to go with James Cook here.
My guy. Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now, like, with James Cook, I just feel like I'm still a little nervous what the Bills do with their other running back there. They're going to bring someone else, and maybe it's just Devin Singletary, maybe it's not. But James Cook started progressing as the season went on, started getting more involved, especially hopefully in the passing game. His role can kind of increase in that nature, and I think going into year 2, he'll see more opportunity to hit those big home run threats or runs that we, want to see from him because he's so fast and talented in that nature. So as my RB1, maybe not even my RB1. I might go for someone else who might end up being my RB1, but he's someone I like in this class here, and I really want to hold on to him if I can. So after that, Jahan Dotson, Deontay Johnson, which I think is a great pick at that point. But Jibbs, you are on the clock here now.
I'm gonna take Miles Sanders. He did actually have a good year and wasn't hurt as he frequently was in the last prior years. I know he's due to be probably a free agent and changing teams, but I need someone who believes in him, and I believe in Miles Sanders. So,
all right, I respect it. I mean, I hate Miles Sanders. I don't think he's gonna be good, but whatever. So after that,
a strong word.
Keenan Allen, Juju Smith-Schuster, John. You took Geno Smith now as your QB2. Why?
I mean, the extension helps. I think, you get some some familiarity in that offense. He knows the system. He just showed that he can have quarterback one, low end quarterback one type season. So at this point for a super flex, I'm happy with it. It's not, I'm not going to hang on to him forever, but I at least get 2 years now to kind of figure out my quarterback 2 behind Patrick Mahomes.
I respect it. I like it. I mean, I thought about him now, my last pick. So, so after that, Dalton Schultz, Brian Robinson, and now Tyler Lockett off the board here. Now, I feel like Kyle's doing a much better job at the 0 RB than I am, but I'm not going to sweat that. So we'll just keep on going with that. Every team has a quarterback now, so that is a progressive start here. How many teams only have one quarterback at this point? 1, 2, 3. 4 teams have only one quarterback, so they can probably take their time at this point. Highly doubt many people are going to end up taking more quarterbacks at this point in the draft. John, what are you thinking with this 9th round pick?
I really don't know, because I want to. If you were to tell me, like last year, that I could grab Cortland Sutton this late in a startup, I'd be like, oh yeah, like for sure, I'm all in. But now that gun to my head, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Like, there's talks of him getting traded now. There's talks that, like, it just stinks how quickly it fell off for him. But that's someone I'm looking at. Gabe Davis, another person I'm kind of looking at. There's so many running backs. I feel like I can wait. I don't really need a quarterback.
No.
So we'll see.
Ooh.
I can't go Gabe Davis. That's fun.
Roto-Nut is back here. So Algier, Gabe Davis, Wanda Robinson off the board. So floor is yours.
Yeah. All right. I am gonna, and this is also kind of the start of the draft where I don't look at ADP nearly as much as I should, but I'm gonna go with. I'm going with Kadarius Toney. I think maybe I think maybe a whole off season stacked with Patrick Mahomes. I'd like to see what happens there. So I'll take my chances with Kadarius Toney over my chances with Cortland Sutton, which it's trending way down for Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, well, Cortland Sutton just went the next pick after that, and then obviously James Conner's off the board here. Jibbs, what are you thinking? You look like you're lost in space right now.
He does. The space does kind of kill
The
me.
space kind of gets me there when he's like looking like, well, who do I take here?
I'm gonna go with Cole Kmet, a young tight end. I know he has his woes being the bear and just being like a touchdown DD tight end. But out of the prospects that were there, I don't really like Waller. He's old. Njoku. It's just kind of like the same
Interesting.
vein. So
You don't like the Evan Ingram last year?
I did. I have him queued up. You didn't pick him.
You took Cole Kmet though.
It's fine.
Okay, all right. All right.
Double tight end.
I love Cole Kmet. I'm really hoping he does take another step again this year. Elijah Moore, Jared Goff off the board. Now I'm back up for my next pick here. And oof.
That's the worst feeling when you're about to make a pick and you just go, ugh.
Yeah, no, definitely. What are we doing here? Wide receiver. Let's see. I'm going to go with Khalil Herbert from Chicago. I don't really believe that Dave Montgomery will be back with this team here this coming season here. If they were going to sign him, they would have. I feel like at this point now, I feel like Dave Montgomery is going to test himself and go somewhere else this offseason. I don't see the Bears spending big money to get him on their team. So I like Khalil Herbert to kind of take over. He was the better running back in this offense. Who people might think they had a bad O-line, but they had a really good run O-line. And for some reason, Dave Montgomery couldn't be effective in a good run O-line, but Khalil Herbert could. And I do believe they're going to give him probably the key, not the keys to the car, but he's going to be the 1A, I think, for this offense this coming season. So after that, A.J. Dillon's off the board here. Now we are waiting at the end of round 9 here, and let's see what we got going on. How do you guys feel about the draft so far? Do you find anyone that's kind of sticking out to you so far?
There is one guy.
Purdy. How do you feel about Brock Purdy in round 9?
Is he? And he's his third quarterback. Yeah, it's not terrible, I guess. Worth a chance. You don't have to start him. You can sit on him, and I don't know what's going to happen in San Francisco. To be honest, I really don't. I want to believe in Trey Lance, but have we really seen enough? It could be. But then again, the recovery rate of Tommy John surgery for quarterback is not very high. So it's like it could be. I don't know. That's a total wild card pick. It'd be like taking Jared Stidham at this point. It might work out for you. I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll see what happens here. I think at the end of round 10, we are going to move the clock down to 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just plugging.
Get ready for that. I'm going to put it in the chat. Oh, we go. Sky Moore and Darren Waller off the board. So let me make my pick before I go and be the commish I have to be here. I like the Darren Waller pick that late. I feel like it's just a good value.
It's a great pick. It's a great pick that late.
Man, the running backs are not the best, but that's okay with me. Let's see. I am going to go and pick up my boy Antonio Gibson this now. I just like what Antonio Gibson has to offer in this offense. I feel like even if he doesn't stay there after this season, he'll get an opportunity to play somewhere else. And I think what we saw out of him, he was good. He was good. Unfortunately, he just doesn't fit what the Commanders want to do, obviously, on this offense here. And they have Brian Robinson now. And maybe this year they use him more in that Jonathan Stewart, DeAngelo Williams kind of roles now instead of what they were showing us this past year. But we'll see. So Evan Ingram, David Njoku off the board. Jibs, you are on the clock.
We'll go with one of your friends, Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce. I love Alec Pierce. Great pick there. Good pick for QB2, a wide receiver 2 for the Colts.
Yeah, and you figure, forget the guy's name. Paris Campbell leaving for free agency opens up the door for him to be the wide receiver 2 outside Michael Pittman. So I like that avenue of opportunity for him.
And he's getting a ton of Paris Campbell. I believe he's getting a ton of interest this offseason, so he's probably going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves the team after during this offseason here. So after that, obviously Michael Thomas can't talk tonight. Zeke Elliott off the board. John, you went with Kareem Hunt. Why Kareem Hunt?
Just in the off chance he signs somewhere else. He signs in a place like Buffalo. Signs in a place like Cincinnati. It doesn't seem like the Browns are going to keep him around. So hopefully he signs somewhere this offseason. And if he does, say this Joe Mixon thing blows up in Cincinnati's face and all of a sudden they sign Kareem Hunt, it looks great. So this is the time of year to take some of those big swings in startups.
And
Yeah,
another
no.
parallel universe, Nick Chubb gets traded and they keep Hunt.
Yeah,
I
that too.
thought about
I
taking
mean,
Hunt.
that
I
too.
thought about it. I did think about it. So Mac Jones off the board here now. Oh, Kirk Cousins and Mac Jones. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Dude, that's the dynamic duo right there.
Oh,
Ooh, Kyle timed out. Kyle.
That super flag
Kyle.
put me to sleep. I mean,
Well, I don't know how he timed out and didn't pick yet, but he's gonna get.
oh,
There's the auto pick. Brandon Cooks on the board for your auto pick. Sorry,
Wait,
Kyle.
it changed. It said Myers for me first.
yeah, it did for me too for a second.
Did it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Well, if Kyle said something, I might change it. But
All right.
it was showing up as nothing for me for a while. That's okay. So, yeah, guys, like I said, we're almost done this. We only have another 5 rounds left here. Not a bad draft. We're going to try to. Oh, I can fix that for your Kyle real quick here.
Oh, he just got him.
No. Well, then I will just set Brandon Cooks back to him, and we will call it. I don't know why my thing's going so that's weird. So obviously, after this whole weird fiasco, Brandon Cooks off the board. The tight end from the Tennessee Titans, who I cannot pronounce his name very well, so I'm not going to try. Finishes round 10. Darnell Mooney off the board. Jacoby Myers now off the board. Jordan Love off the board. I like Jordan Love in round 11. That's a good pick.
I was just about to pick him too.
And now we are getting close here to middle of round 11. John, what are we looking at?
Oh man, I don't want any of these players at all. But I will take a wide receiver because they have longer shelf life, and I will take Romeo Doubs and hope that maybe there's something there.
No, I think that's a good pick. I'm hoping that Jordan Love can kind of progress in his young age and hopefully do something in this Packers offense if he's actually going to be the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then Donovan Peoples-Jones and Greg Dulcich off the board. And Jibs, where are we at here? Where are we looking?
Tom Brady.
Hope he comes out of retirement. I thought about it. Just
Tom Brady.
oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna go with another guy. I'm gonna go with Josh Palmer. I'm gonna keep it young.
You got that Joshua Palmer off the board. All right, I like it. Matthew Stafford off the board here. You went with a couple of young guys in the last couple of picks here, Jibs.
That's how you build a dynasty, dog.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to win. I didn't say I was trying to win first year. I would have been picking Fournette.
I respect it. Desmond Ridder off the board here. All right, third QBs are going quick here. Oh, I mean, if you're gonna leave me Jimmy G sitting here at this point,
with Aaron Rodgers, you should do that. That would be a smart pick.
It is. And I mean, it just makes sense at this point. I thought about going back to wide receiver, but I feel like there's a lot of good players I do like on the board still. And I figured getting another quarterback that will at least be the starter this season and maybe at least next season will give me some kind of a leverage, at least at my quarterback position here, especially with Rodgers, doesn't play well in New York. Hopefully he does. Well, hopefully he doesn't as a Dolphins fan, but in fantasy, I really hope he does. So a lot of teams have 3 quarterbacks. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. Everyone, John, you have 2 quarterbacks. Jibs, you have 2.
Yeah,
I'm taking the L.
You're taking the L. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, there's still quarterbacks on the board that you could take. So Leonard Fournette, Jameis Winston off the board to finish round 11. We're in the beginning of round 12 here now. I'm getting pretty close to the end. We got 30-second timers on at this point. Real quickly, if you guys stay in at the end, who's watching in the viewership, we might try to go through a couple teams real quick before we end our show. Dawson Knox, Jameson, Jamal Williams off the board here. And we are now on to my pick. And I am wow. What do I do here? What am I doing here? Let's see. I'm going KJ Osborne. I like KJ Osborne a lot.
Good pick. Yeah.
I think that he does take a step up in this offense here. Oh yeah. Railroad Truther took 4 quarterbacks. Interesting. We'll talk about that at the end, hopefully. But KJ Osborne just makes a ton of sense. I mean, I feel like in round 12 at this point, he's a guy who could take the next step in this team here. Obviously, no more Adam Thielen. Could the potential of them drafting another wide receiver? Sure. But I feel like there's other needs, especially on that defense, because they're getting rid of a lot of defensive players that aren't going to probably focus too much on wide receiver in this draft, and a really bad draft, to be honest. So KJ Osborne has been progressing every season. So, and Elijah Mitchell and Rondale Moore off the board. Jibs, you're up. Why is Matt Ryan trending? No, I don't know. People just using his name. Oh, Jibs, you took Chuba Hubbard. Tell us why.
Panthers going to have a rookie quarterback more than likely. They're going to probably want to run the ball. Deontay Foreman's probably a hot commodity on the free agent market. So it's Chuba Hubbard's job to keep for now.
Yeah, I like it. Trey McBride, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Ooh,
Johnny took Isaiah Spiller. You think that it's his time now?
I don't know.
Doing it because of the Austin Eckler news.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think obviously if Austin Eckler stays, this is a useless pick. But again, this is the time of year where you take chances and you read into news, and if all of a sudden Austin Eckler does get traded and Isaiah Spiller moves up the depth chart, like it's a great piece to have. So I'm taking chances at running backs here. I'm taking real risk.
I respect it. I honestly believe if Austin Eckler goes, BJ Robinson's going there for sure.
That would be sick.
Pick 20 or 21, wherever they're at there in that range. He's
That
going
would be sick. I would be sick for that offense.
Would be.
John Mechie going this in the 12th round is kind of crazy to me. I don't know much about what's going on. Doesn't he have like sickle cell anemia or something crazy?
Yeah, I mean he's progressing. He's supposedly supposed to come back for training camp. We'll see. I believe he's on track to come back for training camp. Last I heard.
Okay. I mean, I hope so. I'm happy for him. I hope I hadn't heard any news about him since then, so I was just curious.
Yeah, no, I think it's a little early still. Real quick, Devin Singletary, Isaiah Hodgins, and round 12, round 13, Nico Collins, Ryan Tannehill, Alexander Madison.
We'll see. Maybe the slot. Maybe a slot for Jimmy G does something. So we'll see.
Yeah, Hunter Renfrow. I like that pick a lot. Damian Harris, Deontay Foreman. If he signs back with Carolina, we'll see. And Jibs.
My boy. Kenny
Gainwell. Great pick. Kenny Gainwell.
Kenny Gainwell. That is a good pick.
If Miles Sanders leaves, he'll be the guy. I'm sure the Eagles will probably pick a guy in the draft to help spell him, but I just know like on our playoff run, he did look spectacular, and I hope he could flourish in a role just like what he did this offseason.
Yeah, no, love that pick. Michael Gallup, Isaiah Likely off the board here now. Ooh, man, I don't know. Sure, yeah. Let's grab the wide receiver one right now. No, not doing that. Give me Jalen Warren. I like Jalen Warren a lot. I think he will end up seeing some more work on this Steelers offense here. It's a little risky, round 13, I feel like, but I feel like I do need a couple more RBs that have upside. I think if something were to happen to, Najee Harris, that Jalen Warren could fill in really nicely for this team here and be able to be a kind of a 1A workhorse kind of back for this offense. And that's my fourth RB. I do need to take a little more risk at this point in the draft here. So kind of Jalen Warren, I do like him. Tom Brady, for some reason, we're going to just scrap that up to obviously because he's still in sleeper. Sam Darnold off the board. 5 QBs, road truther. Okay. He's got no Murray. He's got no Murray this year. Obviously, he's trying to continue to compete throughout the season, so it makes sense.
Rojo truther.
If we get the draft, Ronald Jones was your last pick, man.
For sure.
It makes sense. It does make sense what he's doing. I do get it. All right, Chase Claypool. Alan Lazard off the board. Back to me now, guys. No. We're so close. I'm going to go with Ingram for the Arizona Cardinals. We know that James Conner is getting older at this point here. Injuries are likely to occur as he's getting older. Ingram could end up filling in. I don't really see them going after a running back in the draft as well either. I'd be shocked. Maybe, if anything, a later round pick. So Ingram knows the offense. Well, it's a new offense, so probably not knowing the offense, but he's been on this team. We'll see what happens with him. Tyler Boyd, Zay Jones. Jibs, what do you got?
Daniel Bellinger.
Love that.
Oh, Jesus, I'm going to throw
Just
up.
fill out my depth. That's all.
I like it. Amir White, Noah Fant, Malik Willis.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is like such an upside. Maybe he wins the job. Maybe he doesn't suck type of pick. But at this point, you got to take that chance.
All right. I mean, I like Sam Howell better still, but I respect it.
yeah.
Rashad Penny, Terrence Marshall off the board, and we're on the last pick of round 14 here now. There it is, Sam Howell. Thank you, Easy Daddy. Let's go. Odell Beckham, DJ Shark off the board for round 15. And as soon as you guys are done with your picks, take a look at the teams real quick and tell me if there's a team out there you really like. And then we'll finish up for the night. Jelani Woods off the board. And obviously don't pick my team or anyone else's. Oh, don't pick any of our
Kyle's team's cooking, yeah.
Kate Auden, Curtis Samuel, Michael Carter off the board here. So look at everyone else's team, and we'll both give a team that we really like in this lineup here. All right, Jibs, what do we got here? 8 seconds left, Jibs.
Young player, never know.
Zach Wilson. Oh God.
Oh, is that Baker or Baker Mayfield? Either way.
Jared McKinnon off the board here. I don't hate it. Man, let's see.
Get out of there.
Tight ends look like here. All right, so Raheem Mostert off the board. I'm going to take Mike Gesicki here in round 15. I'm hoping he finds a new situation to go to and does well there. Rashad Rashid is going off the board. And then last pick of the draft here, Roro Truther. Hope it's Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones.
Be Ronald Jones. Do it.
Force him out,
It better be Ronald Jones.
10 seconds to wait on him.
You have to really.
You gotta probably find him there. I like it though. I do like it. All right. You guys want to convert this to a league? What? All right. So, John, I'll let you go first. Is there a team here that you like?
I'm in a toss up between honestly Team 1 and Team 2. I think are both Easy Daddy and Kyle's team. I like them both, but the only other team, if it wasn't for their quarterback situation, Team 11 is pretty good too. I at least I'm interested in, but yeah, I'll give it to Kyle's team. I like Kyle's. Josh Allen, Tua's good stack, and then you got Tyreek Hill's ridiculous. Debo hopefully can bounce back into form. TJ Hawkinson looks like a top 5 guy. Cam Akers showed life. Mike Williams. Yeah, it's a good team. It's a high upside team.
I know. It's definitely good. Jibs, where are you at?
I said it before. Kyle's team looks like a problem. A problem.
God. Is everyone picking Kyle's team? God, come on, guys.
No, fine. Then but I do like Easy Daddy's team a lot too. I do like having obviously when you get the number 1 pick and you can stack Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams coming back in the 2nd and 3rd is pretty nice. Dynasty, I don't know how long that's going to last, but it's
but
the first year is going to be fun. And then you get DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry. Like the first year of Team 1 is going to be crazy.
Yeah, no, definitely. I kind of like Team 6 a lot. They're built young, especially at the top here with Jamar Chase, St. Brown, Higgins. It's weird to have both those guys, but I think Higgins could be gone. You have Watson. You have Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas to be more of like a this year kind of thing. I think their tight end situation is good. They went they went hero RB, Javonte Williams, and then everyone else is kind of no show. And then the quarterback's a little risky, but I mean, you can build around better quarterbacks as the future goes on. So I think these are good. This is a good team. Team 6 is pretty good. I like Team 6. I don't hate the team having 99. I don't hate that team either. The running backs are young. That could be really interesting. The wide receivers could be a little bit better.
I think he nailed the Calvin Ridley, Jahan Dotson picks back to back. I think he nailed that's two good upside wide receivers that you need at that range if you're going to go so heavy at wide receiver, running back to start.
No, definitely.
It's a good team.
Definitely a good draft overall. I want to thank everyone who kind of jumped in. Shout out to my coach, Brad. His team is B. Harvin. Doesn't love his wide receiver room, but loves every position. Yeah.
Brad killed it.
Tell him it's a pretty good team. Upside wide receiver.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, if Ridley goes back to being what he was before he decided to gamble, you're fine.
Oh,
You got yourself your
he
wide
took a
receiver one.
gamble on Ridley.
Oh, that's funny.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for who tuned in and all those who participated in our mock draft. We'll definitely be doing this again at some point in the near future. So we might be doing some rookie drafts instead, whatever. Anything you guys want to shout out, John? I'll let you start.
No, I got nothing. This was a ton of fun. Thanks for everyone who did the mock with us.
All right, Coach Chips.
I love the mock. I hope we do some more. And lots of different varieties too.
Absolutely. We'll definitely
Enjoy
will
your
at some
Monday.
point. Definitely will. So as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back here every Monday at 5:30 Eastern time, PM, doing some kind of show. We'll probably be doing a lot about the free agency next week, but we will also have some side shows over the next couple months, talking coaching changes. We'll obviously get into rookie talk all through the month of April, so look out for that. That's when Coach Jibs takes over as the host. And as always, please go check out us over at Twitter at Coaches Fantasy. Please go subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Fantasy Coaches. Join our Discord chat as well. It's also pinned in the comments today, so check that out. Always happy to have you guys jump in there. I'm always posting things in there. If you have any fantasy questions, you can hit us up there. Kind of your one-stop shop for help you guys out with your fantasy needs. And then, yeah, just help us out as much as you guys can and subscribe to our stuff and follow us. And we're just here to help you guys win championships at the end of the day. So thank you all for tuning in. Tune in until next time, guys. And